Hey guys, it's Amber and I'm getting ready to work on part 4, which is still day 1 of my Savannah travel album. So you saw me make this map in part 3, just ripped out pages from a pamphlet. I'm going to be putting this photo on the back to start my North Beach part of these stories. So I've got some photos of like all the signs here, like beach signs, my friend and I, some with her kids and her hubby. Got an enlargement here of their family. We went to lunch right there at the beach, like a little snack bar kind of place. We had like hot dogs, fries, a little drink. Some more pictures of their kiddos. Love this one here. It's hard for you to see maybe, but her holding her kiddo wrapped up in a towel is just a beautiful shot. One of her girls on my lap eating lunch. Really love this photo of her digging in the sand. A couple more here in front of the water, waves. This cool ripply effect that happens. Big enlarged shot of myself, like later in the evening when it really cleared up more. Another shot that really showed how like this ripple effect was going on and how far you could walk out until you got to the water. And even then when you hit the water, it was like really shallow. It was so warm. I truly loved it there. A shot of their family, and then their rental, there was like a lake and this really cool sunset. So I've got a lot of trimming to do. I've got these pulled aside here from Photo Play, their ocean view line. I've got a couple things here that I had shown in the first video. This is the pocket I'm going to be using. I didn't really want to intend to do 2 of these vellum pockets side by side. This one I made a little bit shorter, and I don't know if I did a great job of showing you in the video of the other one how these seams work, where I made this double wide plus 1/4 inch. That is folded over with the seam, and then this bottom piece is also folded over with the seam. I'm going to hold that up there for a moment. Hopefully that'll focus. You guys can see it. So that'll be my journaling. This is a card I made myself. Made it a little taller so I can punch that hole there. I'm going to be using this wooden piece here. I believe this is from Ellie's Studio, so it'll stand for North, and then I'm going to do BEACH for North Beach. Thought that would kind of be fun. That will probably end up going on this enlargement here, I believe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to tuck that into that space. I pulled out a couple of these in case I decide to attach this to one of the 5x7 enlargements, potentially. Got these chipboard hearts. And again, these that I had picked because I'm wearing pink and the sun coming out. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is playing with one of these 2 stencils here. And I did experiment to see how well it would dry on photo paper with a scrap here that I have. I only did this about an hour and a half ago, and I've been testing it, and you can see the smudges to see how long it would take to dry, but it's completely dry now. I did nothing to it to make it dry, but it's got a really nice, I didn't want it to be extra thick. It's got a nice texture. Hopefully you can hear that. It's got a really nice shimmer. And I tested out a few of the other colors that I have here, just kind of by using my palette knife. But they are Nouveau. Let me get this out of the way. I don't want to get anything on my photos here until I'm ready to literally get stuff on my photos. So they are these Nouveau Glacier Pastes. So I've got one in, I think this is called Sea Sprite. I found these on scrapbook.com. This is the one that I tested here. It is called Iron Frost, navy blue. And then I also picked a couple others. I'm probably not going to use this. None of my photos have enough teal in them for that to work. But I did grab this lighter blue, which is called Frostbite. This pink, because I'm wearing pink, called Frosted Pearl. And this white, which is called Winter White. So just to give you a slightly better view of the colors. I anticipate that I will probably be using this one. And I'm still deciding. I might use these waves instead to maybe do a little bit on the edge of the photo and then build like an embellishment collage on top. Potentially another one of these. We'll see. And I'm using these spatulas that I got on, I think scrapbook.com sells them. I think they were out at the time and I bought them on Amazon. So I'll try to find links for these as well. They work really nice. There's 2 different options, just to help you spread it out. And it's nice because they can dip down inside these tubes. I do have other colors. In fact, I think I have 2 more in like a green and like a gray silvery kind of color that I got for Christmas to use with some stencils. So I'm really excited. I'm still deciding, like I said, which one of these I want to use, but I love the way it came out. It really adds some shimmer. So, or I might do these, not sure. I don't want to go too crazy with too many, but yeah, really think that that will add a cool element to my photos. So I still have to get some journaling done, got stamping to do, but I am really excited to see how it comes out. Okay friends, so I've got all my photos trimmed out and kind of organized here by size and how I'm putting them in the page protectors. So here I am doing one of the 4x4 and 4x6 pocket page protectors. So I've got a few of ones that are at the beach there, and on the back is like the end of the day. And then here I'm pairing out which enlargements are going to be going back to back and what order they're going to be going in. So trying to figure that out. A few changes are going to get made along the way. And then I also have the rest of my 3x4s and one 4x6. So I'm going to originally start out with what I have already cut down from a 9x12, which was all 3x4s, which is one of my favorite page protector options to create for 10x8 albums. However, I changed my mind and I'm going to go with the Becky Higgins Design F page protector, which is a 12x12. It has one 4x6 in the top left, and all the rest of the photo sizes are 3x4. The cool part about this is I can fold it, so it's just like the ones that I purchased from scrapbook.com, only instead of all 4x6s or 3x4s, it's a little bit of a combination so that I can include that 4x6 photo of the 2 of us. It was a fun photo, but not good enough to blow up and make into an enlargement. So I'm going to end up rearranging almost all of these, but for now I'm just trying to figure out which photos I want where and to be seen. And then I realized I don't have anything on the flip out side, and the ones that are on the back are pretty much going to stay there, but the patterned cards that are on the back are going to end up moving to the front to help pull in some of that real bright pink. And I'm going to use that Studio Calico card with the white rectangle as like a title page. That part is actually not going to come until the next video because I'm going to be doing lots of mixed media kind of stuff in this video. So I'm just still working on trying to figure out what I want to do. And then here I'm looking at this photo play pattern paper. I'm going to cut out a few cards here, but I think I end up actually removing them all and not using any. But again, that'll come later on down the line. So I really love this beach vibes, but since I'm going to end up flipping that 4x6 card to the back and stamping out beach, which you'll see later, beach right next to beach doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I have to figure some things out. So I'm just trying to figure out which cards are going to be showing, which ones are going to be on the inside flip, things like that. So for now, just trying to have fun cutting and making decisions and playing with some fun bright colors. And just considering some more options. But when I can't make a decision, I just skip it and I keep moving on to the next thing. And just think about it later. So there you're going to see the order of things. So next I'm going to work on my pocket. It's just going to be like the one that I did for the first part of my album. I'm using a wood veneer piece from Ellie's Studio to represent North Beach. These are the Allie Edwards stamps that came out this year with Lauren Wanzik. I'm using Picked Raspberry for my Distress Oxide ink. Really fun, bright pink color. I said this in the previous video, the issue with my stamps is they're very shallow. So even though I'm pushing very, very lightly with my ink, like you can see potentially that H is like flooded with ink. The same with the B. So I just take a little bit of a paper towel that's damp with some ink remover, ink stamp cleaner, really. And I'm just removing that so that it can stamp a little cleaner. I'm fine with messy, and the way these oxidize, it looks messy, but I want to control the messy is really it. So I'm pushing like super lightly on there, and I'm going to re-ink a few times. Trying not to push too hard and like smush these so that the ink will flood out. So I'll just press down really tenderly there, and then just remove the letters that I think are fine. So I'll remove the B, the E, and the C, and then just re-ink the A and the H, and the A is still not quite getting where I wanted. So one more time where I can push that one down by itself, and then happy with how that looks. So once I've let that dry, I'm using some red line tape to adhere that little wooden piece there. And then I'm just inserting the tag and giving you a little close-up of what that looks like. I think that looks really pretty. And how often do you get to really stamp with bright pink? So I thought that was fun. So here I'm moving back to the map page. Went through my stash and I picked out a few Geo Tags that I'm considering. And I'm going to end up going with that hot pink plastic one. And I'm measuring out the inside because I'm considering, right now it's very see-through. And I have to figure out, one, how I'm going to adhere it. And if I want the center to be visible or if I'm going to cover it, which I've done in the past. So I'm taking my 4-inch wide scrapbook.com double-sided sticky tape, which I showed you before. Basically, I'm creating a sticker layer for the back, like I did with my 3-inch circle embellishment in part 3 of my video series. So I'm cutting around it, and now I'm going to peel off the back side of the sticker paper. So that is now sticky, and I'm adhering it to white cardstock. I'm just smoothing it out a little bit with my Cricut tool there. The reason I'm doing this is so that when this is cut out, this is a nice, bright, hot pink Geo Tag, and you can't see the map behind it. It just helps it stand out a little bit more, and it's a look that I like to go through. I don't always love everything to be see-through. And there I'm using my 1-inch punch from EK Success to punch out the center. I have all of those punches saved in my Amazon list on the video. If you are interested, they are my favorites. They punch through just about anything, and I have them in every size that you can get them in because I love using them. They're virtually like you can use them one-handed, which is so nice. So just using some red line tape because this is on the outside of a page protector to smooth that down. And now I'm getting to the point where I am ready to start making decisions on how I'm going to use the texture glacier paste with this photo and where I want to align it. So when I edited this photo, I really loved the blue skies. I loved how you could see like the wavy sand under like the water. And I left the people in there on purpose for scale. But then when I went to put this pocket on there, I realized that they were right smack in the center of the photo. And trying to put the envelope on the left or the right was kind of driving me a little bit crazy for balance. It just did not look right to me. So I'm spending a little bit of time here, and I really, really considered using these waves, but I just could not get it to look right in my mind as I was trying to visualize it. So you can kind of see me looking to the left, looking to the right, figuring out if I'm going to put the pocket left or right, and then I decide it's going to go center. And then I also decided I'm going to go ahead and do the starfish because I really loved them. And I decided I'm going to follow the angle of the water. So what I'm doing here is I'm using mint tape, that's the blue tape, to tape it to the back of the photo so that the stencil doesn't move because I like the angle that I have it at. And there's a few pieces around the edge of the stencil that are like broken off pieces that I don't want to stencil because then it will look like the edge. I want it to look more filled in and not like they're cut off. So I'm using washi tape there which is a little bit stronger adhesive. Mint tape is very light adhesive, so it won't really ruin a photo. It can still stick, especially for photos that you print at home. But the washi tape here, I knew I would be covering it up. So I'm using some mint tape to protect my photo from the edge of the stencil as I'm doing my texture paste. And we're going for it. And I just put a little piece of scrap paper underneath. So I'm just not using too much here. You can see pretty easily through this stencil. That brand works really well. So I'm just putting it down thick, spreading it around a little bit, and then I'll wipe that extra bit off. So you can see, like, obviously this is fed up, but it really does not take very long. Just kind of going back through, making sure that everything looks really even as best I can. I'm trying not to be wasteful of the product, but I don't want to leave that mint tape on the photo for very long. Like, I'm not going to let this dry on here at all, because that will for sure ruin the photo. Like I said, mint tape for the most part does not have very much tack at all, but it will ruin photos. So you'll see here that I'm peeling it off. It can tear. Luckily, it releases from the photo just fine. And I was able to easily rinse the stencil off in my sink with just paper towel, with some water, and dry it off. But I did have to let this dry for probably an hour or two before I could attempt to do the second half of the photo, which I did not get on camera. It took a lot of time. I had to tape off some pieces so that it organically fit into the pattern to the right. And I realized that I taped everything off and forgot to start my video. So, but there you can get a chance to see what it's going to look like. I would not recommend heat setting this because it is a photo, but there you can see I'm kind of figuring out how I'm going to align it. There's a few pieces of star that line up perfectly with stars to the right, so I'll just figure out which pieces to cover. And there you have a little bit of a look. So the right side has dried, the left side was freshly done there, and then here's one more close-up look of what it looks like. So hope you're having fun doing all this creative stuff with me and you're inspired to try some new products, and I will see you for part 5 soon. Thanks much. Bye.